And now for our valedictorian. Griffin Beals is an incredibly interesting person. He's absolutely brilliant and always willing to lend a helping hand, plus a couple of memes when it comes to calculus. I've had many classes with Griffin throughout the course of my 4 years at BHS, and I've admired his comments and contributions that always seem to spark a vibrant class discussion, most often one about cyborgs. Instead of being competitive, he always offers to assist his peers when he sees them struggling in a class, even when they're too self-conscious to ask him for help themselves. There's no denying the fact that Griffin is smart, and there's also no denying the fact that he is a very giving person as well, even going as far as to tutor students twice a week in the library after school during his free time. Griffin is heading off to Brown University next fall and is planning to study a combination of psychology and computer science. He hopes to delve into the world of artificial intelligence, so maybe one day he'll help to make robots more human instead of humans more robotic like those cyborgs he's always talking about. There aren't all that many things that I'm sure of, but I'm sure that Griffin is going to do something great at Brown. Although, of course, he'll probably have to start a Super Smash Bros. Melee club first before doing anything else. I'm really glad that I got to know Griffin, and Brown is very lucky to have him.
What's up, everyone? Bridie, or Miss Vice President, as I should say, thank you for introducing me. I guess I don't really need to do that then, huh? So, Barnstable High School, class of 2017. I'm never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. The words of Rick Astley ring true as I think about our pasts and futures as Red Raiders. I hope that everyone graduating today will never actually graduate from being a Barnstable Scholar, and that as we diverge in a few months to begin work, to join the military, or to attend college, you'll not only remember the experiences you've had during your time here, but also this goofy speech that I'm about to give. I mean, not too goofy though. As Kyle, the infamous rapper, said in his song, "It's Lit," had AP English, so the flow is never basic. Shout outs to Miss Christy Sally. But if it ends up being as goofy as it is on paper, then I guess, as the legendary Mr. David Brown would say, it is what it is. Guys, we've come a long way. From being 8th graders banned from having our backpacks with us in class, to being able to access our TI-82 Silver Plus Edition calculators on a whim's notice. If that's not progress, I don't know what is. Some of us indeed had the epiphany of, hey, I do be knowing that I'm a physics type, during a Mr. Holland's lecture, or realized that psychology is the most interesting path to follow based on how Mr. Good, or Big Petey, as he totally prefers to be called, teaches his course. May it be the fact that you learned Chinese is different from Japanese, thanks to Wu Lao Shi, or that you can zone out during a valedictory address and nobody will notice. I mean, the speaker is paying careful attention to what they're saying, and not you, right? And, you know, that's a life skill. Regardless of what specific events define our educations and lives thus far, I think we all can agree that we've progressed from hollow husks of human beings to experience-rich individuals who will positively impact our surroundings. Now, speaking of how we've evolved, I'd like to introduce a device that'll represent our progression. the Nintendo GameCube. I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, all right, what are you doing? Or I thought that was an Xbox. And to you I say, wait, I'll get to the point. So what is the point? Well, honestly, a GameCube by itself is pretty much just a chunk of metal, plastic, and electronics shaped like a cube. It's an empty box. We, class of 2017, weren't much different from this artifact until recently. Take a step back. Not literally, for those of you feeling a bit cheeky, but mentally to your younger years. Most of us were concerned with finding someone to play at recess, or we're excited to read because we get a prize at the end of the school year. At this point, we were all really just amalgamations of our parents' personalities and teachings bundled with our sophomoric tendencies. The me standing here today and the me from childhood are extremely different, to say the least. Without our accompanying friendships, experiences, and time itself to sculpt us, our past selves would not be us. And without its accompanying wires, this device can really only be used as a footstool. But it's, again, just an empty box right now. So we're gonna plug in a few things. First, we have the component cables. Next, we have the power supply. And finally, we have a Japanese controller. Okay, so, wouldn't you know, it's starting to look like a gaming console. At this point, this GameCube is essentially our initial high school selves. We've just come from middle school, and we're excited to finally be a big kid. But what does being a big kid entail? We don't know yet. We're a sponge ready to soak up high school life, wondering if Principal Clark really does say, "Have a Red Raider day," at the end of every speech. We kind of have a sense of our personalities, our friend groups, and what we like to do for fun. For me, by the way, if you couldn't tell with this prop, it's gaming. Mom, Dad, Chris, Steph, Grandma, Marilyn, Pop-Pop, thanks for not only letting me pursue my interests, but also for assisting me along the way. For whoever in our lives has helped us or has influenced us, you're a section of one of the wires draped here today. Still though, this GameCube is missing its most crucial component, the game itself, or really, your story. And for that, I have Super Smash Bros. Melee, the greatest game of all time. Now, for those of you that may disagree with me, you're entitled to your opinion, but just know that you are wrong. With the memory card, controller, and game firmly in place, I can finally say that this GameCube represents everyone here today. With the addition of Super Smash Bros. And the addition of the memory cards, so too are our failures, successes, loves, discoveries, and joys added to who we are and how our story will be played. And so too are the places we've been a member of, however briefly, and the monumental obstacles that we've overcome. So too are the friends from Miss Lomax's TGA, like Bryce Conroy, Bailey Curcio, and Parker Baird. Or the friends I can always message at 4 a.m. on a school night, like Lucas Lanzo or Hong Leo. Or the friends I can go frisbee golfing with, like Jeff Robertson, Kyle White, Ben DiPietro, and Evan and Nathan Malone. Or the friends that have always provided some form of debate in AP Human Geography, like Kyle Gilmore, Nick Fletcher, or Andrew Atzelis. And even the friends that absolutely love Japanese anime, like James Chan, Cameron Fuzzuski, and this is the person most passionate, Grace Kilroy. Or any person from any events in your life, you can ad-lib as you please. Everything and everyone that has added to our lives, whether minutely or tremendously, is the reason all of us have transformed from the aforementioned empty box to what can only be accurately described as a fully equipped Nintendo GameCube, with an enticing story to tell. Remember though, the game currently inside of this device isn't just any copy of Super Smash Bros. Melee. It's my copy, with my effort poured into it. For everyone here, their own copy is inside, ready for you to go on to the next level of life. While each of us have similar exteriors, our interiors are what define who we truly are. As I peer out into the audience, all I see are bright faces. After all, I'm sure at least one of you has noticed that there's no television or power supply for me to plug this into. You're gonna have to find both of those while you experience your life beyond Barnstable High School. Be willing to plug into new places and be willing to change the disc that currently encapsulates your unique identity. If someone says that you, the GameCube, can't plug into their TV, say, why? And try to convince them to open their minds. Do not accept no, because I said so. And when someone offers to add an experience to your life's memory card, remember that being a Red Raider means keeping an open mind, ready to take in all that life has to offer. As John F. Kennedy said in both his 1963 speech and his Call of Duty Black Ops 1 cameo, and our liberty too is endangered if we pause for the passing moment, if we rest on our achievements, if we resist the pace of progress. For time and the world do not stand still. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. Stagnation is the bane of progress, and I implore and challenge every member of the class of 2017 to be extremely open and accepting to new ideas and points of view, not only during this next chapter of our lives, but eternally. John Steinbeck sums up this speech in his novel, East of Eden, through the simple word, Tim Shell. Thank you, everyone, and stay dank, Barnstable.